Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So today we'll cover the topic, can Allah feel emotions like happiness and sadness? Okay, so the main principle that this is a bit advanced question and you might never encounter it. But if you do ever come across it, it can leave you confused. So in the Quran and Sunnah, we've been told there's nothing like unto Allah. And this is like a principle in the Islam. So anything that you come across in the Quran or Sunnah, you can be rest assured that there's nothing like unto Allah. So whatever's intended by what's mentioned will be nothing like humans, cannot be nothing like any created beings. It's going to be completely dissimilar. So this is established in chapter 42, verse 11. As such, if you read here, it says, Allah cannot be characterized by emotions, as emotions involve physiological changes and altercations in one state of consciousness. Since change or moving from one state to another is an attribute characteristic of creative things, as it indicates um, their like short-term nature, it's impossible to characterize Allah Most High with it. So, because emotion is something that is a short term, it's also a change, and it also is a characteristic of created things. We cannot attribute this to Allah. However, at the same time, we find in the Quran Sunnah where Allah has been attributed with love. For example, He loves the good doers, and His mercy, Ar-Rahman or Ar-Rahim, and for example, anger, غير المغضوب ولا الضالين. So anger is mentioned there, and joy and so forth. Thus, we affirm these meanings for Allah, but we do so in a way that befits Him. And so, what we do, we also negate certain things within this within the definition that's been given, like anger, for example, and mercy. Will come to that where we would actually negate what is indicating. So, and it will be in accordance with the transcendence He affirms for Himself in the primary text. So the basic principle when it comes to understanding His attributes is that whatever is impossible to attribute to Allah in terms of His beginning is permitted to apply to Allah in terms of His end result. So what they're saying is that whatever in this particular case, they'll give an example here. They said that the word mercy, as defined, is softening of the heart. So it's something that softens the heart and elicits favor and beneficence. They said that the beginning here, softening of the heart. We know Allah does have a heart, right? This is not something because He's not human, so He doesn't have a heart and stuff. So the beginning here of softening heart cannot be attributed to Allah. The end, however, for example, Him showing favor to these people or being beneficent, can be attributed. So it says that it's impossible to attribute Allah with mercy in terms of softening of the heart, but permissive to apply the meaning of mercy in terms of what it ultimately results in, namely eliciting favor and beneficence. As such, when it said that Allah is merciful, Rahim or Rahman, what is meant is that both favor and beneficence are established for Allah in terms of Him being favorful or beneficent towards creation, or intended to do so. The same methodology of understanding is employed to understand other similar attributes such as love, joy, and anger. So the same thing we'll do there. We said that we can't attribute it's not like a chemical change in your mind or anything like this. We don't attribute this to God because of the principle in the Quran. So because of a clear principle there, due to which we cannot attribute this kind of chemical change amount, but we can attribute, for example, the punishment. So the end result of anger would be the punishment. The end result of anger would be result in hellfire and stuff like this. Such a methodological approach continues to affirm that which Allah affirms for Himself in the primary text while maintaining Allah's absolute transcendence, something that a literalist approach fails to achieve. This is a balanced approach that Sunni scholars throughout centuries followed. So this is a balanced approach to whenever we come across anything in the Quran Sunnah. I think this is a balanced approach, and this is what the scholars have also mentioned.